Money. That's what it's about at the end of the day. Complete money. So when you look at Oklahoma and Texas leaving for the SEC and their last year in the Big 12, they're both getting $44 million as a distribution, and it's still not enough money to keep them. That's the explanation. And that's the reason why Colorado is going to eventually be in the Big 12. That I mean they're all gearing up for it. I mean it's the writing's on the wall. Exactly what happened with UCLA and USC when they left the Pac-12. They did not have the money to keep those big legacy brands. They can associate with a conference that's so many miles away from them that is so worth the travel cost because they're getting that made up in millions from distribution payments alone. And they're not talking about the alumni base and everything else. So the Pac 12 is in a really bad predicament. It really is. They don't have a strategic partner that's willing to pay money at a premium price. ESPN is tightening their budget. They want a la carte. They want some Pac 12 games here, some Pac 12 games there, not the whole thing. Fox Sports knows this, but Fox Sports is like, we're spending out the yin yang for all these other conferences. We're going to wait and probably try to buy your rights for pennies on the dollar, because where else are you going to go? Now, the Pac 12 has been peddling, we're going to do a digital kind of approach, meaning we having talks with Apple and Amazon, but that hasn't come to fruition yet. That's not going to keep Colorado from bolting, all right? Bottom line, the Colorado Buffaloes, if they decide to leave for the Big 12, and rejoin the Big 12, they are looking at $30 million plus each year. That turns their athletic budget that was in the toilet, that was in the red, in the black. They've done that themselves by hiring Coach Prime. Okay, Coach Prime has rejuvenated the merchandise sales, the in-house money, the stadium money, the social media impressions, the NIL money that's pouring into the program. He is being underpaid. That money's already being regenerated. Now they're going to go and get more money from the Big 12, and then they'll be really a powerhouse. And what I mean by that, they can pay Coach Prime more. If he does well, they'll renegotiate his contract, pay him his true value. And now he's got the best athletes, not athletes, but best coaches, assistant coaches in the business. You know, those analyst positions like in Alabama where they have enough money to pay for former NFL coaches, they'll have the same amount of money to pay former NFL coaches or former college coaches that amount of money. And now they're in the big leagues. Now you're competing with the Georgias, the Alabamas. It's all a process and a plan. And it's all happening before our eyes, but no one's talking about it. And everybody's kind of like, oh, I don't know if they're going here, there. Look, the Pac-12 needs to make a deal. I don't see how they're going to be able to do that and match what the Big 12 is offering. From everything I covered in that prior video, they are going to have to make multiple deals with multiple streaming partners and networks to try to come up with an amount. Now, that amount, what they're going to pay their schools plus expansion, is going to be hopefully, 18, anywhere to 25 million. That is a lot of money to leave on the table if you're the Colorado Buffaloes. And they like, we were part of the conference before. We have this big time head coach. And to be quite frank, I was looking at the Texas schedule the other day. That shit didn't look that hard. Now, don't get me wrong. They got some legacy games in there that's already built in competitive wise. You got the Oklahoma game. You got the Oklahoma State game, which they're always sneaky good once every 3 to 5 years. So you never know. I get that. And then there's the TCU game. Again, TCU's gotten just out of this world within a season with Coach Dykes. But when you look at their schedule, that's not something I'm sweating. You look at Colorado's schedule, it's a little bit rough. You got, Heisman winners and people that are projected to go in the first round as quarterbacks they're going against. And I'm talking about random schools. Like, not random, but you know what I mean? Not You got University of Washington. Penix is looked at as a first round pick right now. Like what? You got Cameron Rising. He's been there 8 years in Utah, and then people don't Utah doesn't lose at home, so they have a very very tough schedule. And I looked at Texas' schedule. I was like, yo, Texas might be in the CFP off this schedule alone. All they got to do is not lose. They get past TCU. They get past the faltering Oklahoma. We'll see if they're back. They're right in the thick of things. Yeah, I can get it. They put Alabama on their schedule, but that's on them. And truth be told, I mean, honestly, they almost beat Alabama last year. Quinn Evers doesn't get hurt in the first half. Who knows what happens? So with that being said, Coach Sark, who was an analyst, by the way, one of those big money analysts at Alabama, knows how that program works. They mess around and win that game. But who's to say Texas is not back? They're back. That schedule doesn't look as hard. So my point in saying all of that is they move to the Big 12. They get more favorable scheduling. And more favorable scheduling means better team records. That's more incentives for Coach Prime. Coach Prime don't go nowhere. We got the money. We got the money. We got the 30 plus million that we're getting from the Big 12. You can hire whoever you want. Please stay here. I know your sons are in the NFL now. Everybody's doing well, making money. Headache Gang CEO, Shiloh's playing safety for whoever. A great story would be Shador being a first round draft pick and going to the Atlanta Falcons, because I guarantee you the Falcons, they look like they're packing in this season. You got Desmond Ritter as your starting quarterback. Get out of here. So you're telling me you aren't in the best quarterback race this year? Or because this is going to be one of the better quarterback rich classes in a very, very long time this upcoming year for the NFL draft. So that'd be a cool story. Shador getting drafted to the Atlanta Falcons in the first round. That'd be great. Please stay, Coach Prime. Please stay at Colorado. And these are the reasons why. We're giving you the money. We're giving you the money to hire the best assistants in the country. We make you a national powerhouse and in a bigger conference with a bigger platform. You can grab so many more recruiting dollars now. The NILs are bigger. So to me, this is what it's about. They feel that, the Pac-12 is a premier program, especially with how bad the schedule is. Tough the schedule is right now. But you look at it in the future, and you're like, wait, I get to have a better schedule. I get to have more money, and we have a bigger platform, and we're going to be instantly on all of these major networks all the time. People won't have to find us, or we won't have to play the late games. And two of their first 3 games they play at 10 a.m. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I get the whole schedule things and how they have to worry about the rest of the country, but that's insane. For a premier college program starting games at 10 a.m. No. We need primetime games, okay? We need at least, the prime spots at 3 p.m. or whatever it is, going into the fall, more of those. So that's what they would instantly have with the Big 12. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. Everybody's tiptoeing around it. I'm saying it right now. Colorado really appears to be ready to go to the Big 12. And that's why I'm saying it. They're going to the Big 12 unless the Pac-12 comes with some insane, unbelievable deal where they can at least match or exceed the guaranteed money that the Big 12 is paying. And again, this is stuff that's being done. This is stuff that's actually getting paid. Texas and Oklahoma are getting $44 million. Like, that's insane. And it's coming down to $30 million because they're expanding. They're adding BYU. The Big 12 is adding BYU, Houston, Cincinnati, UCF. All those teams. Very, very good teams at any given time. You drop Coach Prime into that. Now you get 30-something million out the gate. And you got to end like just a reinvigorated, excited fan base. Must be the money. Heritage Sports.